Hello everyone, welcome to this video lecture. I am going to teach you about constitutional safeguards for the tribals. The scheduled tribes constitute 8% of the total population of India. These people stayed in isolation in the interior areas for centuries together. The British government adopted the policy of laissez-faire, which was mainly a policy of segregation. But the independent India adopted a democratic constitution, the preamble of which guarantees equality to each and every citizen of India. The Constitution of India has provided two types of safeguards, general and specific safeguards to protect the various interests of the minorities. The general provisions are those provisions that are equally enjoyed by both the groups, but the specific provisions consist of the provisions specifically for the scheduled tribes. The Constitution has made specific provisions for safeguarding the rights and special interests of the scheduled tribes and also to accelerate the pace of development to join them in the mainstream. Part 3, Part IV, Part VI, Part X, Part XI, Part XII, Part XIV, Part XVI of the Indian Constitution contains different articles for the tribal. Special provisions in the Constitution have been spelled out in 23 articles, which are as follows. Article 15, 16, 17, 19, 23, 24, 25, 29, 35, 38, 46, 164, 244, 275, 320, 330, 332, 334, 335, 338, 339, 342, Article 336, 350 and Article 371. The 5th and 6th schedule of the Constitution also deals with special provisions for the scheduled tribes. Now we can categorize the constitutional safeguards into two types. Those two types are, one is protective safeguards and the other is developmental or ameliorative or concessional safeguards. Now let us discuss what are the protective safeguards. Some special provisions have been made to protect the culture, the identity, the land and the forest rights of the tribal people. These protective provisions have been spelled out in the articles like Article 15, Article 16, Article 19, Article 23, Article 24, Article 29, Article 46, Article 164, Article 330, Article 332, Article 334, Article 335 and Article 338 and Article 339. Now let us see what are the developmental provisions. These provisions have been made to improve the standard of living of the tribal people and thereby to integrate them into the mainstream of the population. Now we can categorize all the kinds of constitutional safeguards into 5 categories depending on the sphere of action for which they are. These 5 categories are educational and cultural safeguards, social safeguards, economic safeguards, political safeguards and service safeguards. Now let us discuss each of these safeguards separately. First we will discuss about educational and cultural safeguards. Which articles will come under these educational and cultural safeguards? Article 15, Article 29, Article 46, Article 350 will come under educational and cultural safeguards. Now let us discuss what are the articles that can be categorized under social safeguard. Article 17, Article 23, Article 24, Article 25 are coming under social safeguards. Now the third category of safeguards, the economic safeguards. The economic safeguards have been dealt in Article 16, Article 19, Article 244, Article 275 of the Constitution. The fourth category of safeguards are political safeguards. Now let us see what are the articles that are coming under political safeguards. Article 164, Article 330, Article 332, Article 334, Article 243, Article 371. All these articles are coming under political safeguards. The last category of safeguard is service safeguards. Article 342 and Article 320 are coming under political safeguards. Now let us discuss each of the articles in detail. The first article is Article 15. Article 15 deals with prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of race, religion, caste, sex, place of birth, and emphasizes that no citizen shall be subject to any kind of disability, liability, or restriction on the above basis to shop, public restaurant, hotels, places of public entertainment, use of well, tank, road, and any other public place maintained wholly or partially from state funds or dedicated for the use of general public. This article has significance because the tribal people have been earlier discriminated on the grounds of religion, race, place of birth. They were not allowed to use public places, but after this article 15 they have been allowed to use all the public places. Nobody can restrict them to use the public places. Article 16 ensures equality of opportunity in matters of employment with government and prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, etc. Nobody can deny the scheduled tribes in matters of employment. Article 17 abolishes untouchability and declares its practice in any form is forbidden. It emphasizes that any disability arising out of any untouchability shall be an offence and punishable by the court of law. Because of the age-old caste system in the country, India, these scheduled tribes were subject to untouchability. They are considered as untouchable, but Article 17 completely abolishes untouchability and anybody can be, it can be punishable by the court of law. Article 19 outlines protection of rights on freedom of speech, expression, free movement throughout the territory of India, right to reside anywhere and settle anywhere in India, acquire and hold, dispose property. So this article also gives right to the scheduled tribes to stay anywhere in India, to have property anywhere in India and to also dispose it. Nobody can deny, nobody can take out their right from them relating to their property of holding land or house or anything. Now let us discuss Article 23. Article 23 deals with prohibition of traffic in human being and forced labor like beggar and prohibits discrimination for compulsory service for public purpose on the grounds of again the race, religion, caste and class. So Article 23 totally prohibits trafficking among human beings and particularly the forced labor like beggars. According to Article 24, no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or mine or in any other hazardous employment. This article is very important because majority of the child labor engaged in hazardous employment belong to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe category. Article 25 details freedom of conscience, free profession, practice and propaganda of religion. Nobody can force anyone to practice any form of religion. The tribals are free to propagate or practice any kind of religion. Article 29 deals with protection of cultural and educational rights of the minorities in two clauses. The first one, any section of the citizens residing in any territory of India or any part thereof having a distinct language, script or culture of its own shall have the right to conserve the same. This article has significance to all the scheduled tribes because the tribals have different language and some tribes have also different script. Like the Santals have a different script which is known as Olchiki. The second clause tells that no citizen shall be denied to admission into any educational institution maintained by the state or receiving aid out of the state funds on the grounds of religion, race, caste and language. So this Article 29 is also very important as it protects the cultural rights, the educational rights of the tribals. Now we shall discuss about Article 46. Article 46 is coming under Part IB of the Constitution. According to this article, the state shall promote with care the educational and economic interests of the weaker sections of the people and, in particular, the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes, and shall protect them from social injustice and all forms of exploitation. So this right is also very important because it promotes the educational and economic interest of the tribals. Article 164 is in Part VI of the Constitution. According to this article, in the states of Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, there shall be a minister in charge of tribal welfare who may, in addition to be the charge of welfare of the scheduled caste or backward classes or any other work, but particularly he shall be in charge of the tribal welfare in the three tribal dominated states like, as I told, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. Article 244 of Part X of the Constitution of India deals with administration of scheduled and tribal areas. Some areas have been separated as scheduled areas and tribal areas. So this Article 244 describes about the administration of the scheduled areas and tribal areas. The provisions of the 5th schedule shall apply to the administration of and control of the scheduled areas and the scheduled tribes in the states specified in Part A and Part B of the schedule other than the state of Assam. So 5th schedule deals with other states than Assam. But the 6th schedule, the provisions in the 6th schedule shall apply to the administration of the tribal areas in the state of Assam only. The 5th schedule makes provision for the establishment of Tribal Advisory Council in Assam. These 5th schedule and 6th schedule, these two schedules are very important. Article 275, it is coming under Part XII of the Constitution. It provides for the grant of special funds by the Union Government to the State Government for promoting welfare of the scheduled tribes, for providing them with a better administration. That means, according to this Article 275, the Union Government will give fund to the State Government for the welfare programs of the scheduled tribes. Article 320 is in Part XIV of the Constitution. It deals with the services under the Union and states. This part details the functions of the Public Service Commission ensuring equal treatment to all the people of India irrespective of caste, color and creed. Article 330 is coming under Part XVI of the Constitution. It makes special provision for reservation of seats for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes except the scheduled tribes in the tribal areas of Assam. The scheduled tribes of the tribal areas of Assam are not covered in this article, and the scheduled tribes of autonomous district of Assam are not covered under this article. It covers all the scheduled tribes except Assam. Article 332 makes provision for the reservation of seats for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes except again the scheduled tribes of Assam in the State Legislative Assembly. So according to Article 332, some percentage of seats have been reserved in the State Legislative Assemblies also. Article 334 specifies the tenure of reservation of seats and special representation. This mentions that reservation of seats and special representation in legislative assemblies and House of People to cease after 50 years. Article 335 deals with the claims of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes to service and posts and indicates that their claims shall be taken into consideration consistently with the maintenance of offices of administration in making the appointment of services and posts in connection with the affairs of the union or of a state. Now let us come to Article 338. Article 338 makes provision for the appointment of a special officer for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and specifies his duty to investigate all matters relating to the safeguard provided for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes under the Constitution of India. It is also his responsibility to report upon the working of these safeguards and at such intervals as the President may direct. The President may direct the officer to investigate into the working of the safeguards and he may seek for a report. Article 339 outlines control of the Union over the administration of the scheduled areas and welfare of the scheduled tribe. As the article indicates, the President may at any time and shall, at the expiration of 10 years from the commencement of this Constitution, appoint a commissioner to report on the administration of the scheduled areas and welfare of the scheduled tribes. The President can appoint an officer who will report regarding the working of the safeguards according to this Article 339. Article 340, it tells about the appointment of a commission by the President to investigate into the conditions of the backward classes. The Article 350 has been divided into two parts, 350A and 350B. According to Article 350A, it shall be the endeavour of every state and of every local authority within the state to provide adequate facilities for instructions in the mother tongue at the primary stage of education to the children belonging to the linguistic minority groups. And the President may issue such directions to any state as he considers necessary or proper for securing the provision of social safeguards and statutes and legislations. According to this article, as the tribals have different languages, the tribal children at the primary level should be provided education in the mother tongues. According to Article 350B, special officer will be there for linguistic minorities. According to Article 342, it deals with the mechanism of scheduling the tribes. In accordance with the said article, the President, after consultation with the Governor of the state, may, by publication of notification, declare the tribes or tribal communities or parts of or groups within the tribes or tribal communities which shall for the purpose of this Constitution be deemed to be scheduled tribes in relation to that state. That means the President will consult the Governor of the state and he will specify a tribe or a group of tribe or a part of the tribe as scheduled tribe in that state. This article also empowers the Parliament to modify the law of the list of scheduled tribes. Article 366. In accordance with the clause 23 of this article, scheduled tribe means such tribes or tribal communities or parts of or groups within such tribes or tribal communities as are deemed to be scheduled tribes for the purpose of the Constitution. Article 371A has special provisions in respect to the state of Nagaland. Article 371B has special provisions with respect to the state of Assam. Article 371C has special provisions with respect to the state of Manipur. Article 371F has special provisions with respect to Sikkim. While discussing with this constitutional safeguards for tribals, we will also discuss about National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. By the 89th Amendment of the Constitution on 19 February 2004, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe has been set up under Article 338A on the bifurcation of the H12 National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes to oversee the implementation of various safeguards provided to the scheduled tribes and scheduled caste. Earlier, it was National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. But in the 89th Amendment, as I said, this was bifurcated and a special National Commission for Scheduled Tribes was established. Now, let's come to the summary and conclusion. The Constitution makes provision for the tribals for the representation in the parliament, in the state legislature, appointment of ministers in charge of tribal welfare, particularly in Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, appointment of minister specially in charge of welfare of autonomous districts and autonomous regions in the state of Assam, representation in central and state services, abolition of untouchability, throwing upon the Hindu religious institutions, admission into educational institutions, special provisions for social, educational and economic advancement of the tribals through these articles. It has also banned trafficking in human beings, appointment of special officer to investigate all matters relating to the working of the safeguards provided to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and the development and administration of the scheduled and tribal areas. In addition to these provisions of the Constitution, there are certain acts and orders which are also protective, ameliorative and concessional in nature. Special provisions have been made for the land and rights of the scheduled tribes. Legislative and executive measures have also been taken for the members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes by reserving seats for them in the state legislative body, in the Lok Sabha, in the municipalities, in the Jilla Parishad, Panchayat, etc. in different states also. Further, in addition to representation in services, there has been concession in age, qualifications and rate of fees have been guaranteed by some states and also by the central government. To conclude, the plight of the tribals have improved a lot. They have developed a lot, but still the tribals are lagging behind. Still they are not able to join in the mainstream of the population. Still the dreams of the framers of the Constitution are yet to be translated into reality. Thank you.